Welcome to Living Your Path. I am Cecile Ferry, a coach and astrologer. I'm here to guide you on how to live and work in alignment with your true self so you can find fulfillment and serenity. Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to your coaching corner for this week. And this will also be your final coaching corner for the year of 2025. I am going to take a little break on those podcast episodes, but I will carry on with the cosmic catch-up because the stars never go on holidays. And I'm always looking at the week ahead for myself, so I might as well record it and share it with you. So there will still be a weekly episode on Mondays that will be about your astrological forecast. And I will be back mid-January with more coaching updates. This really feels like the end, right, of the year. You may be listening to this in time or maybe already on holidays, so this may not apply to you. If you are on the other side, if you are prior to Christmas, chances are you might be feeling overwhelmed and you would not be the only one. You are in good company. So this happens when especially our mental load becomes huge, which can be chronic for some of us, especially for working women. That is well researched and documented, but that's not to say it's normal and it's easy. Far from it. And especially at that time of the year, we have deadlines piling up, activities, pressure to get things done, getting back to people. We feel like there is a lack of time. And so this is like the perfect storm to create overwhelm. So when you get to that place, your nervous system goes either in fight-flight mode, which is like very reactive, like trying to kind of react and manage everything. And also it can go into freeze mode when it's like too much overwhelm. And especially if it's been for too long, then it just gets to a stage where it just can't even move. It's just everything feels frozen. You feel really heavy and like you have no energy and no, everything feels foggy as well. So that can also be part of the nervous system response. But either way, that is driven by overwhelm. So the first thing I want to say is overwhelm doesn't exist as a thing, so to speak. It's a reaction we generate. So it's a feeling we generate in ourselves coming from our thought about the situation. It's, in other words, a load we put on ourselves because it's our reaction to the load that we are feeling. And therefore, because it is our reaction, we can control it. We can change it. It's not easy, but that's why I said this is the first thing, is to distinguish and understand that there are two things. There are circumstances and they're valid and it is a lot. But then it's your thoughts, your reaction, the story you tell yourself about what's going on that creates the feeling of overwhelm. In other words, it's not like, oh, I can't help it. You know, I'm receiving that overwhelmed feeling. That's not how it works. It's you who has the remote control of your feelings. And it's perfectly normal, I would say, to feel overwhelmed when there is all those things. But I want to show you that you own the remote control. So there is a space between those very challenging circumstances and that overload and where you are yourself. That is the key to get out of overwhelm, is understanding that separation and creating that separation. And in order to get out of it, you need to change something about yourself. You know the saying that you can't solve a problem from the place that created it? It's exactly that with overwhelm, okay? So if you don't change something about yourself, and we'll get to that in a second, you will continue feeling that way. And you will continuously be in overwhelm and you will spiral down in it. And therefore, you need to really do something intentional about how you are thinking and feeling in your body. And that will then create a change and you will get out of overwhelm. So the trap, I think, is to try to solve for the overwhelm from the state that we're in. And that doesn't work. And if anything, it just adds more overwhelm, because if we're trying to do more lists, for instance, or we're trying to cram more, or, we're trying to problem solve from the place of overwhelm, that doesn't work, because we bring that frantic energy and our nervous system is all over the place. So we need to take a step back. And I know it's the hardest, right? When we are overwhelmed, we feel like we cannot do that. So let me guide you. One thing that I always recommend you do is you list all of your worries, your to-dos, your reminders, everything that's in your mind, and you download it on a piece of paper, because you need to get it literally out of your head. So write everything down. So that will stop the constant ruminating and you having to remember all those things in your head. And then you really need to create a break with your body and with your mind. So you can start with your mind or start with your body, whichever way. With your mind, it's about telling yourself, I will handle those things tomorrow or later. I don't have to do them all now. Right now is for rest. That is the mental switch you need to say. And it's kind of like you're reparenting yourself and you're saying to your inner child, you know what, this is a lot. You're going to sit down and you're going to have a break, and we will deal with this later. Now, with your body, you need to do something that is somatic, because that overwhelm has been sitting in your body. This is the source for it to be reversed. It needs to be felt and changed at a biological, physiological level in your body. So if you just do your mind thought, that's not going to be enough, because your body is activated. You've got lots of stress hormone going around and all of that. So you need to change that. I think we forget that in coaching. And I'm just stepping away for a second. Like, we give great solution on the mental and emotional front, but we forget the physiological, the body. So if you've got a massively high cortisol, it doesn't matter how many affirmations and thought you put in you. You need to bring that cortisol down, because otherwise you're not going to have the right foundation in order for your nervous system to calm down. So it's like you have a car, the car has fuels, has different, brakes, engines, different parts that are all working. You can't just say, okay, car, we're turning over there. Like, you need to address what's going on with the car. I hope my metaphor makes sense. So you need to relax your body. You need to bring that stress response down. One way to do that is to sit down or lie down and do a body scan. So becoming just aware of your body, taking that time. Or one tool that works really well, I like to do, is I contract different parts of my body in turn. Like, I tense my muscles, like my fist or my feet, my thighs, and for a couple of seconds, and then I release it. And that forces my body to go, we are okay. Breathing is a big one. It's not for everyone. Try it. If it's challenging for you because you're too activated, do the body scan, or go out in nature without your phone, without input. Potentially walk on the grass, contact with nature, or go and walk by the water somewhere. Have a shower. You need to do those things that are sensory, that will ground you. It might be smelling something. It may be breaking out a sweat by dancing in your living room. You need to get your body into a place of more flow. You need to turn the switch of that nervous system response. And what is going to work for you, that's quite a personalized decision, and play around and see what works. Some people it's breathing, some people it's having a nap, some people it's like watching something really simple on the TV, some people it's playing with your dog, patting your cat. You need to really stop when you're overwhelmed like that and spend the time, because this is what you need to invest in. This is what will start reversing the overwhelm feeling that you have, and that stress response. Once you start doing those body practices and you feel more grounded, You will feel it. Like, until you do, you haven't done it correctly. So don't move on. But you will feel it because it's like it's going to open a window in your mind. You're going to feel like, it's not that bad, because when you're in overwhelm, it screams at you like panic, lack of safety. But when you start bringing more calm to your body, you're like, okay, I can see I was, spiraling a little bit. And from that point, once you've hit that corner and you've turned it, solutions will appear. They will, because your mind is in a different state and it can problem solve. There you will see how you can simplify, how you can delegate. You will, realize maybe this isn't that important, all of that. So see how I've described what matters is to turn the switch, because the switch is when you're in overwhelm into a position that is not productive, that doesn't allow problem solving, and pretty much that just repeats the overwhelm. So you need to disrupt and interrupt that pattern. And so, it will feel counterproductive to, like, when you're so busy, to actually take 30 minutes to lie down on the couch. You'd be like, no way. But actually, no way not doing that. Because otherwise you just snowball and then your whole body gets inflamed and you yell out at people and so many other things happen down the track. So it's like, catch the overwhelm. When you are in that stage, you need to stop. You need to pause and you need to create that space between your circumstances and your response. And you need to bring your body in a state that it feels that it is okay. Whatever that is for you. So this is the secret. This is the key that unlocks overwhelm. And I guarantee you, I practice that myself. It happens to me too. I get overwhelmed massively too. And then I just create that space. I disrupt. And I lie down and I breathe. I listen to some very calm music. And until I feel that it has left my body. And then I'm like, okay. And then I can address it because you switch gears in your brain. So I do hope that this has been helpful. So have a good end of the week. Good luck in the lead up to Christmas. If you are celebrating, preparing the holidays, all of that, the last couple of days of work. I hope that you land the end of the year peacefully and in good shape, and that you all take care. So I'll be back next year for Coaching Corner, but I'll also be back on Monday for the Cosmic Catch-Up, the last one for the year. I will speak with you in January. So take care, have a great holiday, and I will talk to you soon. Bye everyone.